Hello everybody, this is me Amin.
And it's Alex.
And welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in today's episode, we'll be talking about the wonder drug, Ivermectin. So, okay, I'm not sure whether you guys have heard of this drug. It's called Ivermectin, and so we're going to talk about this because it's been reported or purported that Ivermectin is effective as a cure for COVID-19. Now, in today's episode, we're going to answer a few questions. Number one is, what is Ivermectin? How did this notion that this drug can cure COVID-19 came about? And is it true that Ivermectin can cure COVID-19 at all? The reason why I want to talk about Ivermectin in this episode is because yes, I know the topic of Ivermectin has been around since I think early this year or late last year, and people are saying that, you know, this could be like a drug that could cure COVID-19. And I brushed it aside because, you know, all the reports indicated that this is experimental. There's not enough research that's been done. And one of the biggest, I think, red flags for me was Ivermectin is a drug that's used on animals. Specifically, it's designed for animals, right? So I'm like, yeah, it's too absurd. People won't believe it, or people won't pay attention. But what happened recently was I got a message on WhatsApp from a friend from a group, right? And he's offering me Ivermectin tablets in Malaysia, and I'm like, wait, hang on a minute. If people are selling this over WhatsApp and it's happening to me, I'm sure a number of people are having the same problem. I think Alex I think one of our ex-colleagues before also had an offer to buy the Ivermectin drug. And if it's happening enough, I think there's enough of a frequency of people wondering or being told that they could buy this drug from some random stranger over WhatsApp. And I think that's very dangerous. And that's the reason why the idea for this show came about. And we want to talk about, okay, does it work? And should you get one? And should you buy it from somebody over WhatsApp? Okay, so the first question is, Ivermectin, what is it?
Ivermectin is being a drug that's actually designed to treat various parasitic infections. So in fact, it's actually very commonly used in animals. Even dogs have it, like heart gut. So that actually helps to prevent heartworms. And it's been widely used for, you know, horses, animals, and all that. And it can be used for humans, but only for specific purposes only. Like because since it's an anti-parasitic drug, it can treat like head lice and certain skin diseases of that sort. And that's about it. It's mainly used for animals. And even in Malaysia, it's not being authorized to use for humans at all. In Malaysia, Ivermectin is only approved for animals. And that's it. And this whole thing came about, I think, way back last year, during the first initial phase of MCO. What happened was that when COVID started spreading worldwide, everyone's rushing for a solution. How do we stop this from spreading further? How do we cure or treat COVID-19, or how do we prevent it? And of course, there's a lot of people in the science field looking for solutions. Vaccines are one of them. There are also a lot of drugs. We've heard a lot of drugs being used during the initial phase of the COVID pandemic. Some worked, some didn't work, some were dropped, some were found to be too dangerous. And one of it was Ivermectin. And I think the first time we heard about Ivermectin was based on a report from Monash University, because the scientists there, they found that Ivermectin, which is a low-cost drug, has the potential of, you know, preventing this virus. Because based on the test, they found that the test is capable of stopping the SARS-CoV-2 virus from growing in a cell culture within 48 hours. So that's good news. Like, okay, we are seeing signs that this can prevent, can kill the virus.
Kill the virus, yes.
Can kill the virus in 48 hours or even 24 hours. But all these tests are done in a lab. It's all like done in a petri dish or a test tube. It's not done in humans yet. So there's a lot of excitement about Ivermectin. Oh, cool. Now we found a potential solution that can kill these things. Great. But as the time goes on, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are looking at vaccines because that looks like it's better. Because, of course, obviously, we know that vaccines are like a form of prevention. So a lot of attention given to vaccines. And of course, there are people who are skeptical about vaccines, saying that, you know, this experimental, how could they come up with vaccine so fast? It's untested. There's no full FDA approval, yada, yada, yada. And suddenly people are thinking that, hey, instead of getting a vaccine, instead of getting an injection, why not take a drug? So a lot of people, jump to conclusion that ivermectin is a better solution than vaccine, because they quote a couple of small studies here and there that shows that supposedly shows that ivermectin is effective and safe to treat and prevent COVID-19. But as you all know, all these tests are not done properly. I mean, the gold standard will be do a randomized trial test. You must test, like the phase 3 test that's done on vaccines. You need to test for its safety, efficacy, and all that. At this point, there's no substantial or hard studies to show that ivermectin is safe and effective to treat COVID-19. There's none of that. There's a lot of people quoting studies here and there, but they're not doing the proper trials like what vaccines have gone through. There's no phase 3 trials. There's no randomized trials.
They're not going through the proper process, right? They're doing some testing, but it's not as complete and as thorough as how the vaccine has, what the vaccines have gone through.
Yeah, and even there's some studies that's done on a smaller scale, and based on what they find is that there isn't a significant amount of reduction when you use ivermectin, and then they say that if you want to prove that it's effective, you need to conduct more trials. But as of now, there's no concrete studies to show that it's effective. It's effective in a petri dish, but not in humans.
Yeah, well, I think we need to clarify here, right? So anything that works in a lab environment doesn't necessarily work in a real life environment. And I think in our discussions earlier, Alex, you mentioned that the dosage that was used in the lab test, the initial lab test that's done by Monash University was like really high. I mean, and that could affect us as humans, right? But I think for me, the worrying part is that this untruth, right? This misfact. I don't know how to call it. I don't want to call it as a misinformation. Okay, it could be a misinformation. Okay, there's two different things, right? So there's misinformation and disinformation. So misinformation is something that is honestly a mistake. Like you read something, you misunderstood it, or you take just small facts and try to put them together and say, okay, this is it. But when you understand more, it's actually wrong. So that's misinformation. Disinformation is when you deliberately try to send out wrong information to confuse people for the sake of creating harm. So I don't know why this information about ivermectin being able to cure COVID-19 is persisting for so long. I mean, do you have an idea why people are still talking about it?
I think it's a combination of misinformation and disinformation, because if you look at the comment section for most social media platforms, you can see most of them are telling the same script. They said, it's FDA approved, it's WHO approved, it's safe, it's used by billions of people. So, okay, the first things first, FDA. Okay, if we say it's approved, right, it's only approved for like specific purposes only. And even FDA actually had come up with a statement saying that ivermectin is not, you should not use ivermectin to treat or prevent COVID-19. So it's not true, number one, that FDA approved it for COVID-19 cure or treatment. That is out the window. And another statement said it's also approved by WHO, used by billions of people in the world. Even WHO has issued a statement that, you should not use ivermectin outside of clinical trials. Yes, it's been used in clinical trials, but it's not authorized to use it just yet. So like even in Malaysia right now, even after the notices, the PSAs by the government saying that ivermectin is not approved for human consumption, we are still doing tests as well, because we want to make sure that we're going to exhaust all opportunity to find out what drugs work, what drugs doesn't work. So Malaysia is doing the test as well, and some people are saying that the reason why ivermectin there's a lot of restrictions, a lot of ban and all that is because they want to protect the big pharma. But that's not true.
Ivermectin is also from big pharma, right?
Yeah, it's also because they say it's low cost. So, but the thing is, it's not. In the end, they say that the reason why they are so against ivermectin is because we want to focus all on vaccines and make them make money out of vaccines. But the thing is, it's not true, because Ministry of Health are always continue to test new drugs. It work.
Yep.
Some work, some didn't work. Even right now, apart from the trials for ivermectin, Ministry of Health is also conducting conducting trials for 3 more drugs, and the results will be out next month. Because if it work, yes, we can. If there's data to prove it, the science to prove it, yes, we should try it out. And if it's approved by the regular authorities, yes, we should take it. But until that's proven, we shouldn't take it at all. For me, is if one day the science and data prove that ivermectin is effective with a certain amount of dosage, I'm all for it. But until that day comes, why should you take a drug that's experimental? And the funny thing is, a lot of people are saying that ivermectin is they treat ivermectin as a substitute for vaccine. It's like, I don't need vaccine because there's ivermectin. But the thing is, the same people who say that, vaccines is not safe because they're experimental, they're unproven, there's no data. Isn't that the same thing with ivermectin? There's no data to prove that it's safe. There's no data to prove that it's effective. In fact, there's a lot of data to show that it doesn't have any significant results in reducing COVID. And if you say it's not approved, ivermectin is not even approved for humans. So why do you take ivermectin when it's not approved for human consumption in Malaysia?
It's not approved for human consumption in Malaysia. Okay, I just want to make sure that we cover all bases because, I'm sure there's going to be people in the comment section to say that, hey, wait, there is a version of ivermectin that is approved for usage on humans. Yes, there is. We're not denying that, but it's not approved for use in Malaysia, number one. I think there's been some use for trials. They're doing they're using the human version of the ivermectin for trials in Malaysia. There are countries that's using ivermectin for treatment of parasites in humans. I think India is one country. I think the United States is another. And yes, billions of people are using it. These facts are correct. But it's like saying, X-ray is approved by the FDA, so you can go and X-ray
anything
yourself.
You want.
No, X-ray yourself like 24 hours a day. There are limitations, and everything has its pros and cons. But for me, when it comes to fighting facts, right, or like when it comes to all these things, right, people don't want to be proven wrong, and they don't want to be proven wrong, and they will go to extreme measures. They will dig into their trenches and become rooted in that notion, right? And they will not budge. And it's quite difficult because and we see this in COVID, right? We see this with anti-vaxxers having a problem. I mean, I'm not against anti-vaxxers. It's completely up to them. It's their choice, right? But and it's not right for us to say, okay, you guys are wrong because you're anti-vaxxers and we're right because we're pro-vaccine. I mean, everybody is everybody, but we have to agree that, when it comes to things being dangerous, we have to agree, right? So taking a drug that's not proven and taking a drug that is used for animals, and even when it's used for animals, it is a controlled drug. There are specific doses for specific animals and specific doses for specific weights of animals. So to buy it from somebody on WhatsApp and have who has no idea what your medical conditions are, don't even ask whether you have any allergies or not, and to confidently say that, hey, this can cure COVID, that should raise tons of red flags, right? Because this is not a supplement. This is a drug. This is not a supplement. This is a drug, and this is a controlled drug at that, right? So just try to stay safe, lah. And for those of you who are asking, right, okay, why can't we take the vaccine? Why are the authorities experimenting and trialing all these drugs to cure COVID-19? Yeah, because it's more complex than what you think. So a lot of people think, okay, if you have COVID-19, just get vaccinated. You can't. If you have the virus, you can't get vaccinated, right? And there's a window of 3 months before you can get vaccinated.
Now they changed that already. So as long as you recovered, you can get vaccinated immediately.
Okay, so so it's not 3 months. Thanks for correcting that. And so while you have COVID, you can't be vaccinated because the vaccine might not be effective. And we know the number of deaths are still high in Malaysia, and ICU beds utilization are still high. So within that time, when people have COVID, there is no treatment. There is no treatment to fight the virus. You can only treat the symptoms, and one of the most critical symptoms is your lungs not being able to absorb oxygen, right? So within that period, that is why people are racing to try and find a drug or a medicine that can help kill COVID while it's in your body.
And it's also to address concerns of, because not everyone can be vaccinated, because some people can't be vaccinated because of health reasons. Some are immunocompromised. So if they do get COVID, we need to have solutions to cure it. So that's why the Ministry of health regulators are also looking for other drugs to treat COVID. So that's the reason why we don't put all our chips into vaccines alone.
Yeah, and then it comes to that story like, okay, then why are we vaccinating as many people as possible? Because like you mentioned, Alex, we need to focus our resources on hitting as many people as possible right now, because we want to go back to normalcy as soon as possible. So trialing different types of drugs might not be the fastest way to get us out of this pandemic, right?
And also to add on to that, right? So there's two things here. There's prevention and cure. So vaccines are there to prevent. It's not 100% because all vaccines right now, because I know some people are saying that, vaccines are not working because I know some vaccinated people can get infected. Yes, you can get infected. Yep. The thing is, the reason why this vaccine, it doesn't give you immunity like 100% immunity. It actually helps to reduce the symptoms. So even if you get infected, you're probably likely to be stage 1, stage 2, where you have little or no symptoms. And the idea of having a vaccine is that if everyone get vaccinated, we have less people needing to go to hospitals, less people going to ICUs, and eventually less people dying due to COVID-19. So that's the reason why we have had a vaccination. If we do find a drug, so let's say if you get COVID, you have less symptoms, and at least the drug can help reduce the chance of you surviving. So there's prevention and cure. So just because there's a cure, doesn't mean you can say, I don't need to vaccinate anymore. Why you want to go through that risk and then look for the cure? Why can't you just prevent it?
I guess, again, I'm trying to be as holistic as possible. Yes, I do have my beliefs, and I do feel that vaccination and getting vaccinated is the right way to go. But okay, let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. People have the right to choose. They have the option, right? So if we're treating cancer, for example, at the end of the day, the doctor can only advise you that, okay, you should go to chemotherapy, or you should go to radiotherapy, you should do DNA therapy, or whatever it is, right? At the end of the day, it's up to that person, right? And at the end of the day, is that person chooses whether he believes in aromatherapy or traditional medicine. There is no law in the country that tells you that you are forced to take that treatment, even if the doctor recommends it. And to some people, what is the cost of this, right? To some people, like I said, they're willing to dig in the trenches. They're willing to go deeper and deeper into this hole. And to some of them, it might even be their lives at stake, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a matter of principle, and a matter of principle, matter of emotions, matter of ego, and when it comes to this thing, it's very difficult to reason. And I think I did some reading, right? So how do we convince people that are anti-vaxxers or people who believe in ivermectin? How do we convince them? There is no real answer. Just like the vaccine, there is no 100% way to do this. The only way is to open our arms. The only way is to not say, hey, you're wrong, you shouldn't do this, you should stop, because these are the facts. We should listen. We should listen to anti-vaxxers. We should listen to people who believe in ivermectin. Not to agree, but to understand. And I think if we start with understanding, maybe there might be a chance to improve, right? So I don't know, So I'm saying this because you guys, the viewers out there who are watching this, who might be going through the same experience. If you believe in vaccines and medicine and science, you might have people who are in your family group, or people who are your friends who don't believe in vaccines or medicine. Maybe this is a way. Or if you are an anti-vaxxer, I mean, we want to hear your opinion too. But have some ground rules, right? Base it on facts and base it on things that make sense, on logic, right? So let us know what you think.
I mean, like you said, right? Everyone has the freedom to choose to do whatever they want in their body, because it's an individual right. It's like, even like today, vaccines are not mandatory. It's up to you. You decide whether you want to get vaccinated or not. There's no mandatory that you must get vaccinated. For me, is you can decide to make the choices you make because that's your life, but you must base it on facts. For me, the problem right now is that a lot of people, they're spreading misinformation, claiming that it's FDA approved, WHO approved, it's safe, as if there's no side effects. The thing is, there are side effects. And I'm just afraid that a lot of people, they just take the advice, just take ivermectin, without knowing the full extent of what they're getting into. Because like recently, the Ministry of Health reported that 2 individuals had suffered acute poisoning after taking ivermectin. So one of it is like a 35-year-old man who suffered breathing difficulties after taking 1 ivermectin tablet.
Wow.
And one senior citizen was found unconscious after taking 15 ivermectin tablets, one go. Like, what's going on? Like, okay, even like, are these people just going overboard? People just thinking, oh, ivermectin is like a supplement, I can just pop as many as I want. But then again, right, ivermectin, there's a lot of side effects which other people don't know. And I got a feeling that's partly caused by misinformation that says that, oh, this drug has been used by billions of people, this drug is safe. But it's not. It comes with risks. Similar to vaccines. Like, for example, I know some people are concerned with vaccines, and I do say that, yes, your concerns are valid. Like, for example, why is it approved too fast? Yes, I can say that's a concern. But there's a reason why it's approved very fast. Because of the
situation.
main situation right now.
Yes.
It's unprecedented. So everyone has more resources to make sure this thing passed the trials. Even actually, this whole thing was actually helped by Donald Trump's mandate for the Operation Warp Speed. So that actually cuts down a lot of red tapes to speed up the testing. So we completed phase 3 trials, and even early this week, it was announced that even Pfizer vaccine has received full FDA approval. So that gives us stamp approval that these vaccines are proven safe and effective. So if you want to decide to take a drug, please base on science and data, and make sure it's based on the actual information, the facts. Yeah, because a lot of people just spread message on WhatsApp groups, spread it on the comment section, thinking that, oh, taking ivermectin is like taking a candy. There's no side effects. There are side effects. If you're concerned about the side effects of vaccine, you should be equally as concerned about the side effects from the ivermectin drug.
Yep. Absolutely right.
Why are you concerned about...
Why you choose one over the other, right?
Yeah, why choose one the other? And the thing is...
the same logic for both.
Exactly. Like, for example, the vaccine had gone through trials by FDA, but you say, I can't trust them because it's being rushed. But at the same time, you also quote, oh, FDA approved the ivermectin drug. And you can accept that. Yeah. But the fact is that FDA only approved it for certain conditions, like head lice and all that, but not for COVID. Even FDA has, I think even the FDA has had enough of this nonsense. They even had a tweet like on the 21st of August saying that you're not a horse, you're not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it. And they provide a link to the post why you should not use ivermectin to treat or prevent COVID-19.
Yeah. Okay, so then the next, and I totally agree with you, Alex. Even I don't eat 15 Tic Tacs in a row. So I don't know how you take like 15 tablets of a drug. Wait, that's crazy. But for me, what's interesting is what goes inside the mind of these people to do these things, right? I mean, because I'm sure they're not doing it to cause harm to themselves, and I'm sure they 100% believe that it works. How do you get to that place? That's the interesting part, and I don't think that's something that we're going to answer today, but it's just something that I like to think about. So now, I'm sure there's also like a supplier that's supplying all these small sellers on WhatsApp. I've read some news reports that there are certain pharmacies that are also selling ivermectin under the table and things like that. So, what are the authorities doing when it comes to this?
I think it's a two-way thing, Authorities can only act based on complaints. I think a couple of months back, they act on a doctor for prescribing ivermectin to their patients. And then the actions be taken against them. I'm not sure what happens to them. I don't know whether they lose their medical license or not. But same thing with masks, right? Like last time, remember, masks are regulated. If someone sells above the price, authorities take action if someone complains. So it's a two-way thing. If nobody complains, I think it's hard for them to enforce.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I think communications is key. I don't know whether KKM is not seeing this as a big problem, or it's not something that they feel that they need to address, or they feel like, okay, there are more important things to sort out right now. But you don't see authorities talk about ivermectin on a regular basis to create the awareness that it is dangerous. Because I think certain people, the people that go over WhatsApp or I don't think there's enough of an awareness among the whole population of Malaysia the people in the villages, the people in the suburban areas, the people who are maybe not as well informed or maybe are not as well connected. There's no universal understanding that ivermectin is a drug and it's not safe. There's no campaign to go and say that this is happening. I don't know why. Maybe again for the reasons that I mentioned just now, or maybe it's just saying, okay, we cannot say that now because what if the clinical trials come through and hey, ivermectin is actually working, and there'll be more confusion. So I don't know why, but I feel that authorities should talk more about this.
Yes, I do agree. I mean, the Ministry of Health, even the Health Director General, Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, he actually mentioned a couple of times, even the Ministry of Health, they also put a couple of infographics reminders as well, like, nak rawat atau cegah COVID-19, ivermectin dan ubat haiwan yang lain dijual di talian tidak sesuai dan bukan untuk kegunaan manusia. Sehingga kini tiada produk ivermectin / ubat haiwan lain yang dilulus untuk kegunaan manusia bagi merawat COVID-19. So there's a lot of PSA out there, but I must agree it's not as aggressive as say COVID-19's
vaccination program, for example.
Programs. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think they should, but maybe it's not as serious as other countries because I know Indonesia is like a whole different situation out there.
They're like all in. They are all in on ivermectin, right?
They're because of influencers.
Ivermectin, and also there was this. I think a couple of months back there was this rush to get like a certain milk. I think it's a condensed milk or milk powder. I can't remember the name.
That's a Nestle with some bear on it, right?
Yes. That one. People were raiding the supermarkets because somebody said that it could cure COVID.
Yeah, a lot of these weird remedies. Like I think in India or which country was it? Like rubbing yourself with horse pee or cow pee will help to prevent some all those unorthodox remedies. Like, come on, guys. I mean, at least follow the science and the data, and at least, the very least, right? Listen to your doctor. If you have any doubts of what you want to put into your mouth, into your body, right? Ask your doctor. They're the best person to advise you. Not Dr. Facebook, not Dr. WhatsApp, not your friends. My friend say this, my friend say that.
Yes.
Talk to your doctor before you put anything in your mouth.
Unless your friend is a doctor lah.
Yeah, unless your friend's an actual doctor.
Okay, so I think we covered pretty much everything. So just to recap, ivermectin is a drug that's used for animals. Yeah, there are some usage for humans, but it's not for COVID-19. So I hope we're making it clear that ivermectin at this time, 26th of August, has not been proven to be able to cure the COVID-19 virus in human beings. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if anybody that's trying to sell you the drug and they tell you that it's safe, and there are data and science that's backing their claims, again, at this moment in time, Thursday 26th of August, there has not been any science or data that's backing that the notion that ivermectin is safe for human use to cure COVID-19. Right? So we've done the research extensively. We've been doing the reading, Alex especially. You can trust us on the information. And number three, what are the authorities doing? Well, I feel like the authorities is not doing enough. I think we both agree on that. But we don't know why. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the show. But we want to know what you guys think. Whether you guys been solicited by somebody over WhatsApp trying to sell you ivermectin. Whether you have interesting family members that really believe in ivermectin, or whether you yourself believe in ivermectin. Let us know. Right? But just to be clear, please be civilized in terms of your discussion and arguments. We can debate, but let's not be animals. And try to be respectful. All right? Okay, is there anything else you want to add, Alex?
Well, to stay safe right now is, follow the SOPs, wearing a mask, social distance, wash your hands frequently, and get vaccinated.
All right, thanks very much. Okay, everybody, that is my cue to remind you that we are available on podcast as well. So if you like to listen to our show while driving or while just chilling and not watching the video, you can search for us on any and all of your favorite podcast platforms. We're available on Spotify and everywhere else. Just search for Let's Talk About Soy Chin Chow and we're there. If you're listening to us on podcast, please do give us a 5-star rating if you like the show, because that helps spread the word to more listeners. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks very much for watching. Do give us a thumbs up if you like the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comments, suggestion, and feedback. We love hearing from you guys. So let us know in the comment section below if what do you think of this topic. What do you think of the whole ivermectin thing, and what do you think we should talk about in our next episode? So let us know. All right, that's pretty much it. This is me, Amin,
And this Alex.
and catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.